Hi, folks. Something a little different today. Still working diligently on Pearl, and in the coming weeks, I have some awesome video, uh, awesome episodes to upload. See how the forward cabin's coming along, getting new timber work in, and even started varnishing. So, all very exciting. I thought today I'd just share with you a little bit of. Well, it's actually, as the title suggests, it's a look back. Firstly, to have a look back at to almost a year and a half ago now, perhaps even a bit longer, when I first bought Pearl, but also some interesting things that I've discovered about her, particularly about who she was before she was Pearl. And we'll go through the video. It's a combination of some video, obviously, but also a few images as well. I'm not a big fan of slide presentations on YouTube, but there's some interesting pictures in there as well. So let's start off and get back to the beginning, and I'll walk you all through it, and hopefully you'll find this interesting. Okay, let's get on with it.
And hang on, what's this? No way, right. Remember I said before that before she was named Pearl, she was named Louise. Look at this. Oh, that's not it. What are we missing? How the hell do you spell Louise? Oh, there you go. There she is. Oh, that's not it. How the hell do you spell Louise? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Forget it. Well, that's great. So if she was originally Louise, and that is her bona fide name, well then, listen, I don't believe in the whole renaming boats bad luck stuff. If that's what she was called, well then, I might rename her back to her original name. But that's awesome that I've got the lettering.
So, who is Louise? Or more accurately, who was Louise? It all started when I received a bunch of pictures, photographs from the previous owners that I bought Louise Pearl from. So even now I'm getting confused. And from what I can gather, it starts back to perhaps the late 80s, early 90s in the Gippsland Lakes in Victoria, in southern Australia. And the image here, obviously, is Louise in her former glory. Uh, the very obvious first thing to pick up from is that she's in a lot better condition than Pearl is now, obviously. And I'm still trying to understand the gap between when she left Victoria, ended up in central New South Wales, up until the point that I bought her and brought her back to Sydney. Um, so, from what I can understand from the pictures, she was in better condition. Obviously, the paintwork was better, but more importantly, she had all of the internal fittings. Um, the helm is slightly different. It doesn't have the traditional Halverson seating arrangement. In fact, from what I can gather, it looks like the owner had nicked probably a chair from the kitchen table, I think. But a fully intact galley and cabinetry. There's even a fridge there. And then, of course, externally looking at the condition of the deck. So clearly had only recently been repainted. And I mean, that looks amazing compared to the condition that the deck is in today. But nevertheless, from there, she ended up up in central New South Wales, on the central coast. And here we're looking at her current iteration as Pearl sitting on the ramp. Now, from what I understand, the time between Louise being purchased and then me buying her as Pearl, over 10 years had elapsed. And in that time, some work was done, but more stripping the boat, no internal fittings, or the cabinetry's gone, or the benches were torn out. So obviously to work on the hull. So what I do understand is that the hull was cleaned and repainted, and is probably in a little bit better condition. So hopefully that saved me a little bit of work on redoing the internal hull. But nevertheless, she's in a lot worse condition then or now than she was then, which has made my life a little bit more difficult. I mean, she looks beautiful there. And so, with most Halverson owners, it's not just owning the boat and certainly not restoring it, but also a lot of effort is put into researching the history, because they're quite an iconic vessel. And the history of these boats is almost as important as the boat itself. So that's my goal. That's my plan, to keep researching, hopefully find some more images and try and piece together her history and understand the mystery of her transition from Louise to Pearl.
a bit further. That's it. Back. Look what I got.
Just with your spare change. Pearl. Is her name Pearl? That's cute. I like that.
Oh, perfect. You bring this up so we're not double blue.